Greetings YouTube, Fuzzfinger here. In today's episode of Final Fantasy XII, we're finally going to be reaching Old Archades, so come and join us, and if you enjoy watching, please hit that like button, and stay tuned for today's show. So in the last numbered episode, we finished our way through the Sochin cave here and saved at this save point. So if you've only been following along with the main numbered episodes of this walkthrough, you might be struggling a little bit with experience and whatnot. So I do recommend checking out all the standalone videos I've been making that cover the optional content such as hunts and optional espers and optional bosses. That might help you out. So if you're struggling, then check out all the standalone content. It's in this same playlist as this particular walkthrough and these episodes, but it doesn't have numbers in the thumbnails, so it won't be like part 13 or whatever the case may be. But do anything that's come before this particular episode in the playlist, and you'll only be doing stuff that we've done up until this point. So anyhow, whether you're just following along for the story, or whether you're wanting to complete everything that the game has to offer, we're going to be moving on with the main section of the walkthrough at this particular point. And we're going to start by exiting out of the cave itself by going through the stone door.
Ooh, smells less like a capital, more like a sewer.
Even empires have need of sewers. The runoff from Archades proper pools here, those who lack papers to live in the city itself. The mighty who have fallen, and the fallen who would be mighty. Their eyes never leave Archades.
I guess it must be a lot nicer than this place.
Oh, to be sure. Archades reeks of a different filth. Let's be off. We can follow our noses to Draclaw.
Okay, so here we are in the Alley of Low Whispers, and the first thing to mention of, well, relative note, is that there's a vendor here. So you might want to just sell all the loot you've been collecting throughout that last dungeon at this guy. He doesn't have a whole lot to sell, but you can probably make a nice bit of gil if you just empty your bags at this particular point, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I've also purchased some gear from the bizarre goods that guy made available to us once I'd sold a load of stuff to him. And to be honest, I've actually just made Balthier my tank at this point. So, he's now got a nice one-hander and a shield. Here you go, the Francisca axe and the crystal shield and the platinum armour and helm that I just equipped from the bizarre stuff is also going to help out in his tanking due to its high defences. So what we want to do at this point now is basically just go around chatting to everyone that we can chat to. And they're going to give us a little bit of information about the place as we go along. And every now and then they'll give us a bit of yellow text. And the yellow text indicates that that's something we need to really know about. So there's going to be a few chests to scavenge as we go through, but nothing really exciting to be found within them. That one had 3 gil. And I am just chatting to every one of these. What's he fishing in? He's fishing in the past, that's what he's fishing in. Gonna move away from that one a bit swiftly. Everyone seems a little bit down around here, don't they? A little bit melancholy. And we're just going to make our way west. Say hello to you. So this guy gives us a bit of information about some Mughals or something. Bit of a dodgy Sikh if you ask him. And look at that, it's the Mughals. A Sikh there was, he sought to play Kupo Podi Podillo. Said he, I'll take you far away, Kupo Podi Podje. A gore mentor, he promised us Kupo Podi Podilli. But all we've had is curds and whey, Kupo Podi Poday. What a strange set of dancing Mughals. But I appreciate the song. And I'll just say hello to that Sikh again, make sure that we haven't missed anything now that we've spoken to the Mughals. Nope. So now we're just going to move on. Did we chat to this guy? I can't remember. Wow, look at the Imperial City of Archades. So now we're going to cross this bridge. So this is the Alley of the Muted Size. And again, there's a whole bunch of NPCs we can chat to if we wish to do so. Know where the Alley of Muted Size got a name? Well, there's two kinds of people here. Them as want to go up to the city, and them as want to keep those people down here where they belong, telling them lies and spreading misinformation to confuse them. Them poor ones what never made it up, they're the ones what are sighing, see? You weren't headed up to the city, were you? So I'll tell you a secret, but it stays between us two, okay? I spied something incredible just now. What? Wouldn't you like to know? 'Twas a bag of coin. Just thrown in a barrel it was. With a hoard like that, the city'll be me oyster. Now don't go telling anyone, you hear? So obviously that takes us back to the previous area. We're not going to head down there. Me gran's got me worried. She keeps on talking about going to the city and making her fortune. Making her fortune? She's old. What a charming fella. Why am I getting lots of rust? Who's got diamond arm on it? It should only matter if the party leader has it, so I'm guessing we're just getting them from those chests anyhow. Ye wouldn't want to venture into battle without a blade, am I right? To go to the city without the proper knowledge, why, 'tis the same thing. And I'll tell you something else, it was knowledge what brought them senators to their knees, and that's the truth. Still want to go to the city? Well, hopefully we've gained a lot of knowledge speaking to these happy little folks that are just chilling around the area. Don't think you can look down on me. I'm saving me guilt to get out of here and up there. Why, I've got a bag full of coin put aside already. That is, I had a bag full of coin till someone came along and stole it. Grr. I was sure to be safe as houses in that barrel too. So we're getting this information about bags of coin, aren't we? Talking about coin, let's nick some of our own while we're here. Yes, we're going to be heading on, no doubt. You think you might not stare at me? I'm in the midst of a very important conversation. Okay. Oh, another chest. Where did that creep up on us from? So we're just going to keep moving towards the save crystal. Come to hear a tale, perhaps. There's a lot to be learned from the stories of the past. A lot you youngsters seem to have forgotten. To your peril, you show a little more respect for fairy tales. Now, we do want to speak to this fella named Jules. He gives us a bit more information, you see. Might be a boy in the market for some information. Sorry, I've got none worth selling. Such a boy would be wise to pass on anything he heard to me, though. I'll pay a good price for word of goings on in the Ministry of Law and the Senate. A boy could stand to make a profit. I'm only giving you a bit of commentary because there's so much dialogue to get through. I've plans to go to the city with me but he kept me here waiting hours. I expect he's lost. Oh, he's so provincial. 10 gil. I spent some time in the city, once gathering up all the information I could lay my hands on. But it turns out some of it weren't true, and before long I ended up back down here. What a broken man. The city's just up these stairs. Me head says all I've got to do is walk up 'em, but me feet are trembling, what with the assassination and all. Can't go up those steps. And here we are at the save crystal. Heading up the steps here now, we're going to see if we can actually gain access to the city itself. A couple of soldiers guarding it by the looks of things and a red border. Entering the capital, you have credentials. I have... Well, I don't see any. We can't just throw open our gates to you vulgars, you know. Vulgar? Especially not the lying kind. Away with you. Well, it looks like we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Ah, so who's this? Question mark name. Well, 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 there's a sight for sore eyes. Didn't think I'd be seeing you again. Not here. And Balthier responds, oh, wonderful. Enter the street here. A pirate would do well to smile. Wouldn't want to sour his reputation. So it seems like this question mark fella is acquainted with Balthier. Perhaps a fellow pirate, perhaps not. So I guess we'll find out. You know this guy. Oh, he's an old friend. He's a street here, a peddler of rumour and hearsay, by the name of Jules. He'd bite a gill given him by his own mother, and shave it by half to pay for her funeral. So this is Jules. Sometimes an ear with tight purse strings the order of the day, like when a pirate decides he fancies going up in the world. To the city, you know a way. Well, it sounds like this Jules might just be our key past the guards. But how? Well, I've got a feeling it might have something to do with money. In Arcades, knowledge is power, and power has a way of opening doors, boy. Now a fool will buy a sack of feathers for his pillow, but a wise man, he'll buy the whole stinking cockatrice and get his fill of meat into the bargain. So, wise man, how does 1500 gil sound? Now, you can either pay up or decline, but if you want to decline, well, that's pretty much the end of the game for you, because there's no way to progress from that point, unless you choose to pay up again, of course. So we're just going to save the hassle and do so now. Bright boy, you learn fast. I call this meeting to order. Tell me, boy, heard any rumours in town? Sounds like the Inquisition for poor Varn here, doesn't it? Actually, I did hear about a man who picked a bag of coins out of a barrel. Bags in barrels, eh? A boy would do well to bring that morsel to a man named Beasley near here. Tell him what you've heard. So, as long as you talked to that lucky man earlier on that spoke about the bag of money, then Jules is going to tell us to report to a Beasley character, the man who is the original owner of the money. And in order to do that, we're going to head back to the bridge area and look for that Beasley fella. Just go around the outside here, since I don't think we came this way, did we? Get our knots of rust. Oh, another one. And where is he? That's not him. Naysayer. That's not him, that's Otto. Beasley, there we go. What? You're telling me you know the bloke what's taken me coin? Oh, it was him, was it? Okay, it seems like that's all we need to do right now is speak to him. And now we need to head back to Jules. Since we've done so and spoken to that fella Beasley. So he's just past the save point. Oh, we're getting ourselves a pickle here with these narrow streets, aren't we? Where's he gone? My mistake is actually just located here. So we'll go ahead and speak to him. This will kick off another event. With Jules. Who tells us, "You told him just as I told you. Good boy." Yes, we have spoken to Beasley. Varn says, "I'm not sure what any of this has to do with going up in the world." Oh. Witness the power of knowledge, me boy. See? It begins. Looks like there's a fight going on around here. What's Beasley up to? But look at that. The Imperial Guards have just gone jogging past. So there we go. The knowledge of Jules, the powerful knowledge of Jules, has removed the guards from their station. And has now given us complete access into the city of Archades.
You're gaping like a fish out of water.
I'm just checking out the city. Even if it is the Empire.
You've changed, Vaughn. You were always marching to your own beat. Almost like you were impatient, even. In a good way.
Maybe it's because I've seen more now. Never imagined I'd ever come this far away from home. Hey, Lars is here in the city, isn't he? He's a tough one. I wonder how he's doing.
You always were a soft touch, Vaughn. You know what's amazing? I always thought I'd go my whole life without meeting people like the Princess or Lord Larsa. And here we are in the capital.
I know. It's a little over my head sometimes.
Good, Vaughn. You've come to understand the difficulties of serving royalty.
Hey, I'm just along for the ride.
That wasn't a complaint, was it, Bosch?
Right. Let's get moving.
Hey, don't change the subject.
Right.
Okay, so here we are in the city of Archades, and there's going to be an orange teleport crystal later on, so we can save this location as part of the fast travel network. Before we do anything else, we're probably going to want to go shopping. So we're going to start by heading west, out of Trant and into the next area. And Balthea says we go our separate ways here, Varn. I've some business to attend to. We'll meet again later. And off he goes. Huh? Hey! Very random of good old Balthea. And was it me or did he just disappear into the ether at that point? How strange. Right then, so we're going to start by heading into the next area here. This is Mulberry. And we've got a couple of shops, so we're going to go shopping in a moment. And we'll start off in the northwesternmost section, just explore the map first of all. And we've got Bulward's Technics, so we're heading to here first. And the reason for that is that there is a Moogle, a Cartographer's Guild Moogle, who will sell us the map. In fact, he'll give us the map for Tachita Uplands as well. By the way, when you're going shopping in this place, buy whatever you want, just make sure you save a minimum of 2,500 gil, because in a little while we're going to need it. And you won't be able to progress without it, so if you go under that, you're going to have to end up going back to the previous cave dungeon in order to farm for it. Which wouldn't take long, but you may as well just save it. So we can go ahead and speak to the chop master, and he'll give us trade pine chops for sandalwood. We can ask him what that's about. He says here in Arcades, people spend their entire lives trying to get their hands on pine chop, and if they're lucky, a chop of fine sandalwood. Gil, they're only good for the buying and selling of goods. You can have all the gil in the world and it won't buy you respect. Only chops of pine or a chop of sandal will win you that. You see, the chops represent your contribution to the greater good of the Empire. Common citizens might come by pinewood chops enough during their daily lives. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Emma Castrasana. But it takes a soldier or some great deed to earn sandalwood. So for now, we're just going to say we're passing through. And here's the actual Technic seller that we can see if they've got anything new for us. Looks like we bought them all at this point though. So you do need to visit this place still for the Cartographer's Guild Moogle. And we're going to head down. And we're going to go over now at this point to the magic shop. Charlotte's Magicry. And there is a new magic we can purchase here, so I do recommend visiting. We can now buy Thundergar, which is a very nice magic, of course. It's a tier 3 Thunder spell. So make sure you don't miss out on that one. And any others that you might have missed out on previously, you can also purchase while you're here. Back out we go. And I'm just looking for the taxi at this point. I can't remember exactly where it is. Oh, thank you, Damian Lawrence. Subscriber hype. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, looks like we need to head through into the next area then at this particular point. Okay, the taxi's over here, so we can go and speak to the taxi for some information here. The cab guide. Only those with 3 or more chops may ride this cab, boy. Nothing personal, I assure you. A chop? What's that? So we're getting some more information now on what it was that we learned in the Technic shop. If you lack a chop, you pay coin. That's 1,000,000 gil, thank you. What? That's crazy. Having a spot of trouble, are we? Oh, look who it is. It's Jules. I have a message from Master Balthea. He's waiting in Central. He says to come quickly. On this, but we need a chop? What is a chop anyway? When a boy wants information, that's right. A boy pays. 2,500 gil sounds about right. So that's the 2,500 gil that I told you about. Make sure you pay up. Why, any upstanding citizen of the Empire carries a chop. It's a mark of status sometimes, a writ of transit others. If you were aiming to go to Central, where the gentry live, I think you need 3 chops. How do you get them? Like I've said, the key is knowledge, boy. You do your part here on the street, talk to the right people, you'll learn your chops in no time. Oh, that doesn't sound so bad. Oh, people in Arcades love doing good deeds. Why, if they're helping you out, it must mean they're superior. Understand, boy? Not sure I do, but I'll give it a try. Thanks, Jules. A friend of Math... What? He's just run off when he was talking. How rude. Fran's just giving him evils. Ahem. Right, so we basically need to start talking to people now. But before we do that, I'm going to have a wee look in the weapon shop. And now we've got a bit of a mini game to take part in, but I'm going to save that one for the next episode. So come and join me for that. I hope you've enjoyed watching today. If you have, let me know in the comment section, and come back again soon and we'll carry on with more of our Final Fantasy XII walkthrough. Cheers all, thanks for joining me today. See you soon.